Let's see the next discrete random variable. It is called as Poisson random variable. A Poisson random variable capital X taking on the values 0, 1, 2, so on. So it can be any values like 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, is said to be Poisson random variable with parameter lambda if for some lambda greater than 0, p of I equal to p of x equal to I equal to e power minus lambda into lambda power I by I factorial. Just remember this one. Okay, so how do they ask questions on this is they'll say that x is a Poisson random variable, and then they'll say what is the probability that x will take the value I. But in this case here you should remember that they should always give you the parameter lambda. See, whenever they are asking about questions on this binomial random variable, they should give you the parameters n and p, but then here we need only one parameter, which is lambda. Okay, remember this formula. What is it? P of x equal to I is equal to e power minus lambda into lambda power I by I factorial. And again, as with all the other random variables that we have seen till now, we can show that sum of all these probabilities is going to produce a value of 1. If you want to see it, just check this one. Sigma, I'm just adding it up. Sigma I equal to 0 to infinity, p of x equal to I is equal to sigma I equal to 0 to infinity e power minus lambda into lambda power I by I factorial. Now this term is completely independent of I, so you can bring it out of the summation. Therefore it is going to be e power minus lambda into sigma I equal to 0 to infinity lambda power I by I factorial, right? So from series and sequences you can find out that this particular expansion, this particular term is actually expansion of the term e power lambda, which means this is going to be e power minus lambda into e power lambda. This one, if you want to know it, you please refer to any book on series and sequences, which we don't have in syllabus for GATE, but then I think that is one of the subjects in the engineering course. But anyway, you will not get any questions on that because we don't have that one in GATE syllabus. Okay, so you just remember that the expansion of this term is e power lambda, so which is nothing but 1. Got it? So what is the main advantage of this Poisson random variable is it can be used to approximate binomial random variable in some cases. So it is very important, write down as a note. The note is Poisson random variable can be used to approximate binomial binomial distribution, binomial random variable whenever, okay, see this, whenever n is very high and p is very small, then we can use Poisson random variable with lambda to approximate this, which means if you are talking, if you want to find out the probability that a binomial variable will take a value having parameters n and p, instead of that you can find out the probability that Poisson random variable will take that value with parameter lambda in such a way that lambda equal to np. Both the values will be approximately same. Are you getting this? See, if you have framed a question and if you are solving it using binomial that random variable using parameters n and p, and in that example you found out that parameter n is very large and p is very small, then instead of using that binomial expansion formula, you can even use this formula, right? If you are talking about p of x equal to I, instead of using nci into p power I into n minus that 1 minus p power n minus 1 n minus I, instead of using that formula you can use this formula where you can substitute in place of lambda n and p, right? Therefore binomial random variable can be approximated using Poisson random variable. You can get the proof if you want, but then it is not required. Just remember this point. The important point about Poisson random variable is it can be used to approximate binomial random variable. We shall see some questions on it, you will understand.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.